Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? I was getting emails from dudes, and I usually get like a lot of emails, and sometimes I see like a pattern. Like a lot of guys will send me emails, and they'll talk about different things, but it's still sort of under the same theme or whatever, right? So, I've been getting emails from dudes who they'll hit me up, and basically they're trying to figure out like how to get more sex quickly, and without having to go on dates or do a whole bunch of other stuff with a girl, or spend so much time doing this and doing that. It's sort of like, what's the easiest road to get more sex, right? And so the easiest way to do this, and when I say easiest, I don't necessarily mean that you don't have to put in work, because I think a lot of times when people think of easy, it's sort of like, oh, well, I just have to lay back and not do anything. No, what I mean is that, there's a specific way that you can do something to get the result. You understand? To easier, basically, right? So when I say, the easier way to really get more sex, what I'm basically saying is that the reason why a lot of you guys out here aren't having as much sex as you want, or not getting any sex at all, is because you're not really approaching a girl or interacting with women in a way where they see you as the guy that they can just have sex with. Like, that's all they're going to do with you. Like, that's all they can do with you, right? And the reason why they don't see you that way is because when you approach women and when you talk to women, when you interact with them, you give off the impression that there's other things that can go down with you. So like, for example, if you want sex and you're just trying to get sex, right? What you basically should do is when you're interacting with girls or talking to them or approaching them, having that first conversation with them or whatever, it should be known that that is what you want to do. So you talk to a girl, say, hey, listen, you kind of cute. Here's my number. Look, let's get together and just hook up. I'm not really trying to date. I'm kind of busy. So if you want to get together and hook up, let's do that. You understand? Right? But what happens is that sometimes guys will be scared to just say that. So then they'll end up getting a girl's number and say, hey, let's get together and go out and get a drink and go on dates and blah, blah, blah. So you're going out on all these dates in hopes of getting sex, but you didn't really put it out there because you were scared she was going to reject it. Reject you just saying that, right? But you have to basically make it that narrow. You understand? It has to be, look, this is what I want to do, and this is what I want to do with you. So if you want to do this with me, that's when you call me. That's when we hang out. This is what we are going to do. And what happens is that you have to stick to that. So that means that if you say this to a girl and she's like, all right, cool, y'all exchange numbers, and you hit her up, right? And then, she meets you at your house or you go to her house or whatever. And, y'all are there and you're trying to make something happen and she doesn't want to do it. And you'd be like, all right, listen, I'm about to bounce, or you can bounce out of my house because, we were supposed to do this stuff. You ain't trying to do it. So get out of here. You feel what I'm saying? Now, it sounds harsh. It sounds like, oh, why? But the thing is, you have to make sure that she sees you as that guy, because what happens is that when you're dealing with chicks, they will assume or they will think they can change you. They'll be like, oh, well, because they'll like you, and they'll be like, yeah, well, he said he just wanted to do this, but maybe if I do this and this and that, he'll want to see me more, or he'll want to take me out, or he'll want to be my boyfriend, and blah, blah, blah. So what happens is that if you say you just want to hook up and you start doing other things besides trying to hook up, she's not going to believe you. She's going to be like, oh, I can see it. I can change this guy. He's changing. He actually wants more. He wants to do this and wants to do that. Now, what happens is that you might end up switching up because the girl comes over your house and she's like, oh, well, I don't feel like, doing it right now. You understand? So then you'd be like, okay, well, let's watch some Netflix, or let's, go out and get a drink or do something else, right? Because you want to still be with her because you're trying to still finagle the sex. But the thing is, if she comes over and she's not trying to have sex and you told her you want to hook up and that's all you're trying to do, all you need to do is tell her to bounce. because she needs to know that the only reason or the only time that you and her are going to be even spending time is for sex. That is your only function, right? So she can see other guys and do all this other shit with these other dudes, but when it comes to you, she needs to contact you when she's horny and she wants to fuck. That is it. But the only way that's going to work is if you stand firm on that. You understand? Because if she feels like she can do other shit with you, she's going to do other shit with you, and you're allowing it to happen, and then you're not going to be having as much sex. And that comes all from you not standing firm in what you said you wanted to do. See, a lot of you are scared of the girl saying no or the girl rejecting you at first when you approach her and say this. That's going to happen. There's going to be girls, you approach them, you let them know, hey, I just want to hook up. She's going to be like, oh, no, I'm not into all that, blah, 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 blah. And she might be acting funny and just bounce. You understand? And she won't really give you the number. Things won't go down. Or she might give you the number. Things still won't go down because she's fronting and flaking and all this other stuff. That's part of the game. But what's going to happen is you're going to actually meet up with chicks or meet chicks that when you say this, you're going to be able to hook up with them and skip all the dating and having to, do all the back and forth and all the other garbage, because you've presented yourself to her like that. And she's at a time where she wants to make that happen. Right. But if you present her with, hey, let's hook up, and then all of a sudden you are presenting other things and other options that can go down, that's going to diminish the point of, you and her getting together. It's going to diminish how she sees you as far as the guy she should just be fucking. You understand? Because chicks will designate certain guys for this and for that. Some women will use guys for their money. Some women will use guys just for attention on some friend zone shit. And some chicks will be like, oh, this is the guy that I'm fucking. She'll just go and fuck that guy because he set this shit up to the way where he is that dude, right? But if you start doing extra shit, then other stuff is going to go down. Like, for example, I'll give you a simple ass example. You'll understand this, right? Think about back in the day. And I don't know, some of y'all might be mad young, but back in the day when they had phones, not cell phones, just phones in your house, right? You had a phone, and the phone just was to speak on the phone. You call people, they call you, and then you might, had an answer machine or something and it left a message. You understand? But basically, that's what it did. That was the only reason you were even looking at your phone, is when it rang or when you needed to call somebody, right? So that was the function of the shit, right? Now, look at your phones now. You can call people on it, but what else can you do? I could go on Facebook. I could go on Tinder. I could go on Instagram, Snapchat. I could do all this other extra shit. And that's what you do with your phone. You do all this other shit with your phone. Some people don't even call on the phone anymore. Some people just text. You understand? So there's all this extra shit that you can do on the phone, but the phone was originally just for making calls and receiving calls. But now you can do all this other shit. You could make, there's cameras on your phone. There's the watch on your phone. And there's all this extra shit you can do on your goddamn phone. Right? So it's the same thing where you tell a girl, hey, we're just going to do this one thing. And then you end up giving her all these options to do extra shit. And then you wonder why you're having a hard time having sex. You understand? Because you're opening up the opportunity for her to have options to do other shit. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're giving her the leeway to, sort of buy time so she can do her little goofy shit, so she can either get her attention. She might be like, oh, let me string this guy along so I can get some money out of him. Let me do this, let me do that, let me do that, let me do that. But if your only function in her situation is for you to give her some dick, right? That's the only thing that she can get from you by you standing firm on that. So if she is talking to you, or she calls you up, or she decides to see you, she knows this is the only reason she's seeing you, right? There's no other thing. There's nowhere for her to turn to, when it comes to you to do other shit but just fuck. You understand? So this is what you guys need to know. In order for you to make this happen, you have to be able to let the girl know this is all you want to do and stand firm to it. And don't be scared to let her know this, right? Once you do that, will start attracting women who are down for that. And again, you're going to get, chicks who are going to reject you. But think of it this way. How many girls rejected you also by you just, saying, hey, let me get your number and try to go on a date? You still get rejected then, right? So you might as well, if you're going to get rejected by doing what you really wanted to do. You feel what I'm saying? So that's pretty much all I want to say. And also, go to badboymembership.com right now so you can listen to my audio program, Just Have Sex with Her. How to have sex with women without having to go on dates. Okay, you can get that right now at badboymembership.com. When you join the membership, you can get that, plus also other audio and video tutorials every month. Right now, if you join today, there's over 24 hours of game on the Bad Boy membership right now. So if you join right now, you will receive all of that plus a new audio/video every month. All right. So guys, that's it. I'm out of here. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone. Now, before you turn off this video, I want you to do 3 quick things. 1, I want you to click the link below so you can send me a question and I'll do a video on it. 2, I want you to click the link under that to get my free audio program, Undeniable Game, which gives you 7 tips on how to really attract beautiful women. And number 3, I want you to click the link under that to go to badboymembership.com, where you get 45 through 90-minute audio and video dating advice tutorials every month. Hey, what's up? It's dating and life coach Mr. Locario. Go to badboymembership.com and master the dating game by joining my Bad Boy membership program. In this program, you'll receive 45 through 90-minute, easy to follow, step-by-step dating advice tutorials that's guaranteed to help you attract, date, and have sex with beautiful women. Join the Bad Boy membership today by going to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com.